सो हे एवरीवन व्हाट्स अप, आई होप यू आर डूइंग वेल एंड ग्रेट। आप अपनी जिंदगी में बहुत अच्छा कर रहे होंगे, बहुत अच्छा पढ़ रहे होंगे। आज अगेन हमारे साथ है परितोष सर, जिन्होंने एक नहीं, दो नहीं, तीन नहीं, चार नहीं, पांच नहीं, काफी कंपनी क्रैक कर रखी है। काफी का तो मैं नाम भूल गया, और काफी का कुछ लोग कुछ कुछ का नाम पता है, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल सैमसंग, लीडो, डिलीवरी, और भाई से जानते हैं। आइए हम उनका इंट्रोडक्शन लेते हैं और उन्हीं से जानते हैं उन्होंने कौन कौन सी कंपनी क्रैक कर रखी है। और आज का हमारा मेन मोटिव ये है कि हम इंटरव्यू एक्सपीरियंस जानेंगे लीडर का। सो हेलो सर, हाउ आर यू?
हाय, सो आई एम पारितोष। करंटली मैं फाइनल ईयर में हूँ अपने कॉलेज के। और कंपनियां तो एक दो जो मैंने क्रैक करी है वो सैमसंग है, जिसमें मैं अभी इंटर्नशिप कर रहा हूँ, और लीडो जिसका अभी इंटरव्यू एक्सपीरियंस देने वाला हूँ। डिलीवरी भी क्रैक करी थी, डिलीवरी ऑन कैंपस। सैमसंग भी ऑन कैंपस है, एंड एक दो और लाइक कंपनीज आई हैव क्रैक्ड जो ऑफ कैंपस हैं, लाइक रेड हैट और ये लीडो। सो या एंड
तो आज का हमारा मेन मोटिव है कि हम आपसे इंटरव्यू एक्सपीरियंस जानना चाहते हैं लीडो का। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट।
ओके, सो लीडो का भी मैंने कहीं ना कहीं पक्का ऑनलाइन फॉर्म फिल करा होगा, बिकॉज when Lido called, I had no idea that I had filled Lido or anything. So for the first call they had, I missed it. So I was in my lab and couldn't pick up the call. So that's why I missed it. Then I later called back in the evening.
Right.
So in the evening, so the recruiter said ki I'll send you the job description later, and I'll tell you about the job later. So I was okay. Then after 5-6 days, she called again.
Okay.
And then she asked what have I done, what technologies I've worked on. So I had worked on React.js, Node.js, and build a server and front end. So I told her. So she sent. So earlier I was not very excited about Lido. I thought like I had filled it anyway, just cause. But then she sent the job description. She sent the CTC. It was on the range of 14 to 18, and with internship also. So I said, why not? It's a good CTC, obviously. And Lido has Lido had a reputation of not being great in work culture, but on the developer side it was very good. I have not faced any issues on the developing vertical. So yeah, so I agreed for the interview. So there were 2 interview rounds that were scheduled, no online round. So in the first interview I was asked not very easy question, but it was medium level, not very difficult question. So the question was I have to find 3 indices such that all 3 indices are in increasing order, and the number present at the indices of the array are also in the increasing order.
Okay.
So I have to find that question. So first I did it in, you can do it in linear time also. If I have to explain, I will explain. So you can do it in linear time by finding the next greatest and previous smallest number once. So 2 swaps, and then any number for any index where the next greatest and previous smallest number exists, that's the answer. So that was, but then they said ki optimize it in space even if the time complexity gets worse. So it was very weird because I completed in an optimal time complexity, but they wanted the optimal space. And time could be worse. Time could be n square. So I did that. It's also not very not very difficult. Just select any index and get the greater and smaller number next to it and previous to it. So I did that also. They were quite I knew my interview went well, so I knew I was selected in the next. So the next round happened 4 to 5 days later. Sorry.
Okay.
So 4 to 5 days later, The next in the next round I had was with Jivitesh Bansal. He's the head of Lido, like head of the developing vertical manager. So he did not ask me any technical coding questions. First, he asked to explain about my projects. So Lido basically works in React, and I had made my project in React also. So he was quite impressed and intrigued with this. So then he asked me about my prior internships, which was coding ninjas. And also later, the last question he asked was, how does a hash map work? Like
Okay.
how to implement a hash map in real life.
Hmm.
So I told him like an array of linked list and anything hash map works like that. So and later he said ki if you know how a hash map works, you have to implement it
Right.
and write the code for it.
Okay.
So he gave me a time of 12 hours. So after 12 hours, I had to email it to him, the
Oh.
code for hashmap, and not in C++, Java, or Python, like the languages that are used
Hmm.
basically.
Hmm.
He wanted me to write it in JavaScript because that's a non-conventional language. But since JavaScript is not very type dependent, I asked him if I could write it in TypeScript, and he agreed. So I wrote it in TypeScript
Hmm.
and emailed it to him. And after 2-3 days, the recruiter called me back and said that I was selected for the internship and the full-time role.
Hmm.
Yeah, then my internship started like the next week, straight next week, because she called in like on 25th of the month, and I started my internship on 1st November.
Hmm.
Yeah, and like Lido is good. Lido was good because as you have known, Lido is merging with Vedantu in
Hmm.
this month. So yeah, I had to leave Lido because of Samsung, like my current internship. I
Hmm.
left it in Feb,
So
but it was a
I.
good.
Hmm.
Hmm.
तो
Yeah.
आई होप ये वीडियो आपके लिए वैल्यूबल रही होगी। आपने काफी कुछ इस वीडियो से सीखा होगा। और इस वीडियो में आपने जाना होगा कि कैसे अगर आपको लीडो के लिए तैयारी करनी है तो क्या इंपॉर्टेंट है, क्या इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, क्या चीजें करनी चाहिए, क्या चीजें नहीं करनी चाहिए, सारी चीजें पारितोष सर ने हमें बताई। थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग। सी यू माय नेक्स्ट वीडियो। बाय, टेक केयर।